What is going on, everybody? I'm Howard Bender, and NFL Week 4 Sunday games are upon us. Time to start taking a look at who to start and who to sit. We've gone through the practice reports and the injury reports from Friday and Saturday, and it's time to take a look at who gets into that lineup and who's got to be parked on the bench. We'll begin with the starts, and I start off here with Tyreek Hill, Miami Dolphins, obviously, but you know what? Jalen Waddle, too. I think Tyler Huntley starting under center for Miami is a much better move than Skylar Thompson or even Tim Boyle. Huntley knows how to extend plays with his legs. He's got an arm to throw it deep, and he's going to be able to give Tyreek Hill enough time to find those open spots in coverage. So get Tyreek back into those lineups, not that he ever should have left, and get Jalen Waddle in there too while you can. We're also starting all Packers wide receivers: Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jordan Love back under center this week, and that, of course, elevates all of these guys. It's a tough matchup here against the Minnesota Vikings, but this one's going to be a nice little battle of the NFC North, and I think that Jordan Love's presence just obviously elevates this wide receiver core. So get them in there, flex positions, wide receiver threes, however you want to fit them in. And then finally, let's look over to the Seattle Seahawks. Number one, we're starting Jackson Smith-Njigba this week. He's going up against Amik Robertson, who's the slot corner for the Detroit Lions. And if you followed me before, you know that this is a spot that we've marked already here in the season. He's given up 267 yards and 2 touchdowns through the first 3 weeks. Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, even Greg Dortch, who had a hamstring issue, still managed 3 catches on 5 targets for 35 yards. I'm sensing a bigger game here for Jackson Smith-Njigba. And while we're at here with the Seattle Seahawks, Kenneth Walker, active for this game, start him. Zach Charbonnet, sit him. If anybody's going to be playing on the regular, it's going to be Kenneth Walker. They wouldn't have taken him off the injury report if he was not 100% good to go. So get him in there and get Zach Charbonnet out. Other sits that we're looking at this week. All right, we'll start off here with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards of the Los Angeles Chargers. They've lost Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt to the offensive line. Going to be a nightmare, not to mention the fact that dealing with Chris Jones and George Karlaftis pushing through that line, it's going to be a lot of pressure here for Justin Herbert, who is expected to be back. And I think what happens is that the Chiefs get a bunch of 3-and-outs. Chiefs eventually game flow these running backs out. So sit Dobbins and sit Gus Edwards for me here. We're also going to sit Chris Olave. Showed up late on the injury report for the Saints with a hamstring issue, and this was on Friday. So regardless of whether or not he does a limited walkthrough on Saturday, probably going to be a bit of a game time decision on Sunday. And we all know that how these soft tissue injuries can hamper you when you're a full go in a game. So Chris Olave, I'm telling you to find somebody else. Park him on the bench. And then finally, the other guy that we're sitting, Bucky Irving, showed up also on the injury report late with a hamstring. This was on Thursday. Now, I know Rachaad White is listed as questionable. He's dealing with an illness. I'm sure they'll pump him full of fluids and get Rachaad White back. But I don't see either one of these guys holding the full job, and there's going to be a tough matchup here against the Philadelphia Eagles. So you might as well just keep them both out of your lineups this week. Best of luck to you as always. You can find me on Twitter at RotoBuzzGuy. Find me on TikTok at TheRealRotoBuzzGuy. And I'll happy to help you out with all your start sits moving forward here. I'm Howard Bender. Catch you next time.